Panther people, what's going on? I'm going to be talking about the winners and losers of mandatory minicamp. Watching Panthers Post with Phil Perkins. Thanks for joining. Thank you also for having patience. I'm now moving videos in the off season to Friday because so much happens during the week, or not much happens during the week. So if I had videos on a Tuesday or Wednesday, I have this weird anxiety that I'm going to miss something Thursday or Friday. So Friday it is, and just recap everything that happened in the week before. So today I'm talking about the winners and losers of mandatory minicamp. We now have 5 weeks off until training camp over at Wofford. And obviously, comment community below if I said it not correctly, but I'm pretty sure it's Wofford. But there's going to be a lot to talk about in the next 5 weeks. But for now, let's recap what happened during minicamp and who won and who looks kind of like a bit of a loser heading into actual training camp in July. Let's start with winners, all right? Let's be positive. This guy I was thinking was going to have a rookie impact last year, and I really did hope. I think I put it out there either on social media or on this channel. You can take a look back to check the receipts. Is Terrace Marshall Jr., second round pick, wide receiver out of LSU last year. I really did hope that he was going to have a breakout season in his sophomore year in the NFL, and he seems to be on track. None other than Christian McCaffrey said himself to the media earlier this week that Terrace Marshall has exploded to that next level. Just he said his focus, which is huge, right? His focus on the practice field and just what he's showing on the practice field as well physically is giving him a lot of enthusiasm and excitement for what he can bring to the table. You know, I forget who said it, what national media saying that the Carolina Panthers don't really have an alpha. They don't have an alpha on their wide receiving core right now. Now, DJ Moore is a alpha in terms of what he does on the field, but in terms of getting off the bus, well, dang, these guys, this is their wide receiver core. We're going to have some trouble. You know, DJ Moore is about 6 feet, 6'1". You know, Robbie Anderson is taller than that, but built like this. And so there's no one really on the team that is a starter and a regular contributor that you're like, our hands are going to be full. Terrace Marshall is that guy. We talked about it when he got drafted last year in the second round. He's a big dude. He's fast, won a national championship with the Tigers. And so he's a mismatch because he says he likes playing in the slot as well. So imagine a slot receiver, 6'2", 6'3", who's that strong and that fast. That is a mismatch problem, and he could take advantage of that. We even saw in the preseason last year on a screen pass, I think it was against the Steelers, you know, the guy can make plays happen. But whatever happened last year, Christian McCaffrey said, you know, he had some injuries, lingering injuries, some knee issues. Matt Rule said last year they don't want to rush him. If he wants to have a 15-year NFL career, they don't want to rush him out as a rookie like that. So he's following the plan, and it looks like he is going to be more of a contributor this year. And another winner, Matt Corral. This is a Matt Corral channel, everybody. This is a Matt Corral channel. So you can just read the beat reporters who are watching minicamp because I am not in Charlotte, obviously, saying that Matt Corral is having a great practice. He's got some zip. He's got nice deep throws. And mind you, all of this entire vlog right now is minicamp. You can say the same thing about training camp. You can say the same thing about the preseason. None of this really matters until week 1 against the Cleveland Browns. More on that a little later. But it looks like Matt Corral is just picking things up. He's showing it on the field. He's a quick study. Even Matt Rule said the arrow is pointing up for him, but he's still obviously being Matt Rule, the guy who brought in Sam Darnold. You know, he's still locking down with Sam the man. And so, but it looks like things are trending upwards for Matt Corral. And also, if you just scroll on the timeline, just watch the other networks that aren't in Charlotte, you know, there is a lot of people, a lot of analysts out there who think that if any of the rookies have a chance to make an impact, you know, that on the surface might not, but eventually, as the days go on and we go through training camp and the preseason, that Matt Corral is most likely to be the guy out of all those rookies, besides obviously Kenny Pickett, who's the absolute starter in Pittsburgh, you know, to make an impact with their new team. And I feel like the narrative's out there already, the momentum's out there already, that if the Panthers don't pick up Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold isn't on point, literally, in the first couple games, it could be a quick Matt Corral situation. And, you know, there's so many comparisons right now with this team and the 2012 Seattle Seahawks and Matt Corral taking the place of Russell Wilson, you know, a late round pick quarterback from Scott Fitterer, who eventually supersedes a starting quarterback that is making a lot more money than him. Maybe not Matt Flynn money, but making more money than him. And, you know, in his rookie season, stating the case that he's the QB1, and now you're in a favorable financial situation to build a team around that QB. But one of the winners right now, just from what I'm reading, what I'm seeing, and some of the quick highlights out there, is that Matt Corral, a winner after minicamp. He should feel good for the next 5 weeks heading into training camp. If I'm him, and I'm sure he doesn't need me to tell him that, get better every single day and get the QB1 position. It's still a talking point. One of the winners right now in minicamp is the Carolina Panthers, because the team in itself have the leverage against the Cleveland Browns, who are trying to get rid of a disgruntled and very not quiet Baker Mayfield. Now, the Browns, they're big-time losers in the situation because we don't know what the heck's going to happen with Deshaun Watson. And if something happens to Deshaun where he is not playing this year or maybe even next year, do you think they're going to have their tail between their legs telling Baker, yeah, you're going to suit up for us after everything we did to you? No way. They need to get him out of the building. It's going to be Jacoby Brissett who's going to be starting. If it's not Deshaun Watson, so they need to get him out. So their leverage is almost gone. They have to pay at some point his $18.8 million salary next year. So the Panthers really have to sit and wait and hopefully assume that once Baker does come to Carolina, if that does happen, that they can I don't know what the rules are in the CBA, but there must be ways that he can chat with Ben McAdoo, whoever, during the next 5 weeks heading into training camp, that he is kind of up to speed, maybe a little bit behind Darnold and Matt Corral in the playbook wise. But I think the Panthers are still winning. At the end of the day, I feel like they're going to get Baker for next to nothing, and there could be double winning if they get Baker and let Sam go to Cleveland. Or somewhere else, maybe a 3-team trade that maybe needs somebody. But then I think they're winning in that sense. And if it's not Baker, as I'm seeing now from Joe Person with The Athletic, it could be Jimmy Garoppolo, who some people in the Panthers organization feel like is a better fit physically and mentally with the offense that Ben McAdoo is going to be put into place. They're just a little skeptical about his throwing shoulder that is surgically repaired. Now, they're saying the benefit of Baker over Jimmy is that Baker can come in immediately. Jimmy's not going to be throwing till July. Well, guess what? Neither on the team just yet. So both are going to enter, Bank of America Stadium or at Wolford College during training camp at the exact same time. So if you had to choose Jimmy or Baker, one's a bit more demonstrative than the other. One definitely costs a whole lot more. So you would have to need the 49ers to cut Jimmy Garoppolo to try to manage a salary there, get him for the vet min. But I think the Panthers right now, in terms of a fortifiable, that's not even a word, a veteran quarterback that could be plug and play right away, that they can probably get on the cheap, they're kind of winning right now. Let's talk about losers, staying with the quarterbacks. You know what? Sam Darnold's kind of a hybrid winner-loser because you know what? He's getting a lot of praise. He is doing some good things during practice. Matt Rule says night and day. The minicamp situation for Sam Darnold last year compared to this year. He has a better understanding of the players themselves. Obviously, it's a new offense now, and Sam Darnold has said, he doesn't have time to think about the quarterback situation in Carolina because he's trying to digest the playbook as quickly and as efficiently as he can. But you know what? I'm reading some good things about what Sam Darnold's doing. I'm seeing some good things what Sam Darnold's doing during minicamp. Of course, it's just minicamp. There's no one trying to take your head off. No ghosts out there. It's a ghost-free zone in Charlotte during these camps. And so, take everything with a grain of salt, including the praise for Matt Corral. But at the same time, talking about narrative around Matt Corral, the narrative around Sam Darnold is, is this the last time he actually takes the field as the, QB1, pen to paper QB1? Because come July, is Baker going to be on the team? Is Matt Corral somehow going to ascend and show promising things? And so, around him, the confidence around Sam is still, he doesn't have a safety net out there anymore. They're outwardly talking about, people are knowing about the Panthers still kind of knocking the door with the Cleveland Browns, and in some ways the San Francisco 49ers, or at least Jimmy Garoppolo's agent. And so he's kind of a winner that he's showing promise compared to last year, which is not saying much, but he's also kind of a loser because we think it's kind of all for nothing. He's kind of like a lame duck quarterback right now because they got this hot new rookie, literally, if you're into it, and then you got, an actual quarterback who has shown actual success and progression in the NFL in Baker Mayfield, and one that actually went to a Super Bowl, could have made another one in Jimmy Garoppolo. Another loser, Robbie Anderson. Not only, and a shout out to everybody who, I'm not calling him a loser, just in case he watches. You're not a loser person. You are winning in life. You really are. But I guess, in this day of social media where, players, hell yeah, they have all the power to say whatever they want. And that's awesome. That gets a connection with fans. But, him tweeting out that he's thinking about retiring. He then kind of backtracked saying that he was just thinking out loud, which is totally fine. But then when you're not available to practice for whatever reason, that's annoying. But then you see the ascension of guys like Terrace Marshall, who is a larger, thicker, not faster version, but younger version of Robbie, cheaper version of Robbie, seemingly ascending, catching the eye of his teammates. If you're Robbie, in terms of getting the ball, being a regular contributor with this team, you could be losing ground to a second-year wide receiver who didn't really do much last year, unfortunately. So in the sense of fan vibes and actual playing time and where you stand on the chart, the depth chart, the roster, the playbook with Ben McAdoo, you're you could be losing ground. If you're saying things like you're thinking about retiring, you're still a young guy, and then you're not available because of health concerns, injury concerns, and then you have a young stud wide receiver who's out to get his, you could be falling behind. So hopefully the next 5 weeks he gets healthy, he gets his mind right, he doesn't want to think about even retiring right now, and he wants to think about playing and contributing and being a part of this squad, then maybe you'll be a winner. Another loser, and I know I just called the Carolina Panthers winners, but a loser would be the Panthers equipment department. Why? Because just yesterday, Adam Schefter tweeted out and the New Orleans Saints tweeted out they have a black alternate helmet, because everyone knew this, every team can now have 2 helmets for the regular season. So the Saints went ahead of it, got a black helmet. Some say it's gross. To me, it's just a black helmet. It looks great. It's kind of like a evil Seahawks helmet, but it just pisses me off that the Aints have a black helmet before the Panthers. Panthers are black. Panthers helmets should be black. And I know silver does look good. It looks great. Like, this hat is gray and it's got a logo. It looks nice. It's basically the helmet. But the animal is black. We need to at least be given a situation where the Panthers can wear literally all black. Because when they wear the all black uniforms with the silver helmet, it's still not all black. It's silver and black. They need to be all black. Kind of like the Baltimore Ravens. I need to see this happen. As a fan, I've been saying this my whole life. They need to have black helmets. Just an alternate. Maybe with a retro logo and they have retro night, it'd be amazing. So the fact that the Saints have a black helmet for the Panthers, make the Panthers equipment department, or maybe Nike, maybe blame Nike, they are the losers in this situation. So let me know who you guys think are the winners after minicamp and the losers. Put it in the comment below. It's a beautiful place to be. I appreciate you guys. Stay cool out there. It's like 120 degrees Fahrenheit here in Southern Ontario. I will see you guys next Friday. Will there be a new QB? We'll see. And if it does happen midweek, if the Baker trade or Jimmy trade happens next week midweek, obviously I'll have a video and then I'll have a recap on the Friday. See you guys soon.